Thanks, Yaz. Well, we have a lot of people on staff here in Sao Paulo just supporting us with all kinds of different things. And one is Ben Underwood, this young man to my right. He is the statistician, but he's also been doing a lot of other things. Ben, tell us, how you been enjoying being here in Sao Paulo?
I am absolutely loving it. I've gotten to get here, converse a little bit with the organizers. I have done statistics, a little bit of social media help too, so it has been exhilarating being here.
Tell me about the interesting stats that you have had so far in the event. I remember some projections that didn't quite work out.
Exactly. So I started the tournament looking at which players were the favorites to make their final in their semifinal matches. And pre-tournament, I actually had MVL and Caruana in there. However, I update those projections day to day. So Fabi draws his first and second classical games. He's expected to do a little bit better in the classical. I rerun the projections after that happens. Suddenly, Levon is the favorite to make the final on day 3. Now, it was very close. It was, I think, 48.5 to 51.5. But that just tiny flip really really excited me to think of what could possibly happen.
We're seeing these projections flip. It says after day 3, Caruana's chances to win the tournament has now been upgraded. I got to say, I'm the only one who picked Caruana off our team, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. To everybody else, all the haters. But anyway, except for the MVL guys, people are still in it. But nevertheless, it is now quite clear that Fabi is playing well with some good chances. Do you have any other interesting stats on the other players?
Sure, yeah. Before the tournament, I looked a little bit at the first moves of each of these 4 players and what they commonly like to do on the Grand Chess Tour. So I said, who has the broadest opening repertoire of the Grand Chess Tour? And I was actually very surprised by that. So we see Fabiano here. He plays e4 56.6% of the time, goes down to the next 3 most common openings. With knight f3 at 8.1%. This seems pretty common to what we might expect from him as well. But then if you get into some of the other players, they're playing some openings that maybe you wouldn't see from them. Of course, with Fabi, I thought he would be a little bit more on c4, just knowing how good he is at the English. But here's Prague. He hasn't played a lot of games, so we only see E4, D4, and C4.
No knight f3 there.
No knight f3 there. But then again, this is for classical GCT games. He has not played a lot of those. But then if you look into Levon, Levon's opening repertoire is a little bit broader than these other players. So I know that he has those top E4, D4, C4, knight f3, and then he mixes in a B3 there with one of his classical games, which is really exciting to see.
Yeah, we didn't get to see the graphic there.
Yeah, but still,
we'll
so
trust
cool.
you on that one.
Yes.
I know you played in the Blitz tournament yourself.
I
decided
did.
to put your toe in the water. It was your first rated tournament.
First rated tournament ever. They had to get me a FIDE ID hours before the tournament started, and I got to play in that, and it was such a cool experience to have my first tournament ever be overseas, and especially here in Brazil.
You had a nice performance rating, I hear.
I did at the end of the tournament. I finished 3 out of 10, but they gave me a performance rating of 1474, which I am ecstatic about. I'm very happy with that. So
that beats out a lot of GMs even when they started. Of course, they started when they were like 5 years old.
Yeah, yes.
Nevertheless, you should be proud of that number.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I am. I was very happy to have that number.
Well, Ben, thanks so much for all the work that you do, and keep up the good stuff.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Maurice. And thank you, Ben. Really, we make a lot of fun of your predictions, statistical predictions, but we enjoy them at the same time. Thank you for all your efforts.